Hi everyone, this is Anahita again. Last time I demoed the helpful hints for RBT configuration, and since then I've moved on to a larger project which I'll be demoing today. My second project involves the creation of a new RBT review command which will be used for performing reviews via the command line. This should be helpful for those who are heavy command line users and for those who may want to automate some of the review processes. Let me just start by mentioning that the format of this command is RBT review followed by options and then an action. The actions so far are create, add comment, ship it, discard, and publish. Additionally, the RBT review command requires a mandatory option of a review request ID so that we actually know which review request we are trying to actually review. If someone passes an invalid ID, they should see an error printed to their screen. The first action I'm going to go over is Rbt Review Create, which does exactly what you'd expect and creates a new review for an existing review request. If the command is successful, we should see a new review pending on review board. There are many options that we can use to set the same fields that we would on review board. For example, you can pass -RH to set a review header, -RF for a review footer, -S true to check ship it on a review. A behavior to take note of here is that if a review is already pending for a specific review request and we try to create another one, it's going to return the pending review because a user can only have one review draft for any review request. That basically covers the behavior of this command, so let's start an example. On the right over here, I have my own review request with ID 11502, so let's try to create a review for that. There aren't any pending reviews for it currently, so we should be able to create a brand new review. So to do that, we do RBT review, then we pass our mandatory review request ID, which is 11502, and our action, which is create. So I get RBTools successfully created a review for review request 11502. Perfect. If I refresh my browser now, I should see a pending review at the top. I can open it up. It should be empty since we didn't set anything via our options. That's great. Now if I run the same command again, I should get a different message on terminal because we already had a review from beforehand. So now it tells me RBTools found a pre-existing review draft for the specified review request, which is correct since we made one right before passing this command. And anything I do from now on, if I pass options and pass the same review request and try to do create, it's just going to update those fields on this pending review. So let's actually try that right now and set some options. So let's set the review header. So let's say this is a demo of review header. Wow, sorry about that. Let's do review footer. This is a demo of review footer. And we might as well just check out what marking it as ship it looks like. So I'm going to set that to true. And now I'm going to put in my action, which is create. And so when I pass that, I get this message that RBTools found a pre-existing review draft and RBTools successfully updated my review. So let's refresh the browser and take a look at what we have now. So if I open this up, I see ship it, I see the header that I passed and the footer that I passed. So that's great. The next action that I want to talk about today is add comment. So that does exactly what you expect it to do again, and it adds a comment to a review. If a review doesn't already exist for the review request ID that we pass, then we dynamically create the review and add the comment to it to be consistent with the review board's behavior. There are three types of comments that this action will cover: a general comment, a file attachment comment, and a diff comment. We're going to make an educated guess as to the type of comment a user is attempting to add based on the options that are passed. For example, if a user passes a line number and file name is an option, we can be fairly certain that this is a diff comment. If a user passes a file ID as an option, then we can make the guess that that's a file attachment comment. Anything else will be classified as a general comment. So let's do an example for each one of those types of comments now. I'm going to start us off with a general comment. So that would be something that maybe just has text. It doesn't have a line number, it doesn't have a file name, doesn't have a file attachment ID. So let's just do RBT Review -R. Let's pass our mandatory review request ID. Let's add some text to this comment. This should just say, let's say, demo general comment, and our action, which is add comment. So when I pass that command, I get a general comment was created for review request 11502. Perfect. Let me refresh this page. You can take a look at my review, and you can see that I have this comment right over here, demo general comment, as part of my review. Fantastic. Now let's try a diff comment. So let's go to my diff over here. I'll just go with the first thing that comes up. So I have setup.py. Already got 3 comments on this one line, so let's try a different line. Let me try to add a comment to line 76 now. So what I'll do over here is do RBT Review, or pass my review request ID, which is 11502. Let's add some text. I want this to say demo diff comment. Let's add the line number. So let's try line 76. And the file name, which is setup.py. And lastly, my action, which is add comment. So if I run that, I get a diff comment was created for review request 11502. If I refresh this page, I should be able to see this new comment right over here, demo diff comment. And also if I open up my review so far, you can see line 76, demo diff comment. Wonderful. So the last comment I want to go over is a file attachment comment. I don't have any file attachment comments as part of this specific review request, but one of my peers has file attachments with his review request, so we'll try to add a comment on his. So this is his 11445, and I can see he has a whole bunch of file attachments over here. We'll just go with the first one we see. So what we're going to do over here is do RBT Review. Let's pass his review request ID 11445, and now let's add the file attachment ID, which we should be able to get pretty easily from the URL. So we have white background single revision. That's the file name. Open this up. We see that the file attachment ID is 2075. So let's pass that. And let's add some text to this comment. Let's do demo file attachment comment. And lastly, we just need our action, which is add comment. When I do that, I get a file attachment comment is created for review request 11445. Now if I refresh my browser, I see that I have a pending review. I can open it up and see the file name, white background single revision, with my comment on it. And remember, I didn't have a pending review beforehand, but I was still able to create the review dynamically just through add comment, even though a review didn't exist before my attempt to add a comment. So yeah, those are the 3 types of comments you can add. Now I'm going to move on to our next action, which is RBT Review Ship It. Although you can pass a ship it true as an option when adding a comment or creating a review, I also made a RBT Review Ship It command to make it easier if someone wants to simply create an empty review with only ship it as its attribute, and they don't need to set any other fields via options or anything. So this review does not have ship it marked yet, so let's try to do that. We'll do RBT Review, pass the review request ID and the action, which is just ship it. So once I do that, I can refresh the browser. We can take a look. It's marked as ship it. Fantastic. Now the next action is RBT Review Discard, which will delete a pending review draft. Let's try to delete the review that we just added. So let's do RBT Review, or 11445 and discard. So if you refresh the browser, once this command has been executed, we should no longer see a pending review. So that's gone. And I also get this message over here, successfully discarded pending review for review request 11445. The last action is Rbt Review Publish, which will publish a pending review draft. So let's go back to the review we were working on earlier on my own review request 11502 and try to publish that. So Rbt Review R11502, publish. It says successfully published a review with ID 35881. Well, I read that wrong, but it successfully published my review. Let's refresh this page. So we'll no longer see that I have a pending review, but if we go to reviews and scroll down, yeah, I've done a lot of testing on this, as you can see. Scroll down, I can see that 0 minutes ago, I added a review with these attributes, which is what we worked on earlier. So yeah, the review was successfully published. So that's all I've worked on so far. There's still some things that need fixing and some error checks I need to add to the code, but I'm pretty happy with the progress so far, and I'm really excited to continue working on this. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching.